Hello everyone, welcome to Timeless Flux. My name is Sabine. This is my channel. If this is not your first time here, I really appreciate all of the support that you've been giving, the amazing feedback I've been receiving for my readings. And if this is your first time here, feel very welcome, because today we're going to talk about the lunar eclipse in Capricorn that's happening now today as I speak, the 4th of July and the 5th of July. It's a transition moment and it really depends on the hemisphere of the planet you're living in right now. Okay, so this reading is going to go like that. I have two kinds of reading. I have a general panorama on what's going on right now, and I also have a pick a card reading with 4 options for you to choose from for a little bit more of specificity. So if you want to jump right into that, feel free to do so. But I have to start saying, with this overview on the energies this eclipse is bringing, that there are 2 key words that I see here on this reading, and I'm going to show you the cards in a minute. But the first word is adjustment. So this is a moment in time in which we're being asked to adjust everything that we've been doing to our own body balance and our own energy flow. Okay, it is talking about shedding negative beliefs. It is talking about a change in skin, cobra-like feelings, snake-like feelings, but mainly it's talking about carefully accessing with the energy of Capricorn, carefully accessing each area of our lives in which we have given our power away. Okay, so this could be manifesting in your life in many different ways. You could have given your power away to certain people, to certain groups of friends, to your family, and even to external influences like the internet. We have a lot of information and conflicting information sometimes to see through, to try to understand, in the sense of if those information and this advice is they're going to influence our life positively. But what I see here, the first energy I have here is the Queen of Wands in reverse. Okay, with this Queen of Wands in reverse, we're bringing irritation, annoyance, and kind of to our lives, and kind of becoming what's in our own way when it comes to success. Okay, because the clarifier I have here is the 5 of Wands in its upright position. Take a look at the imagery in this card. I have this group of witches here and a very gossipy vibe. Okay, so this is talking about conflict, but not this is talking about communication conflict. Okay, this is talking about communicative impairment. And what I see here specifically for this reading is that you have this cauldron brewing a certain potion, whatever, and almost overflowing with everything that has been put here, spilling over a little bit as these people gossip. So consider this image carefully. What are the situations in your life? Who are the people, groups of influence, maybe even online communities you have been participating on that bring a lot of information and maybe have this gossipy vibe, which is influencing your life negatively. Okay, when I say negatively with this Queen of Wands in reverse, I'm referring to anything that you have added to your life in a very practical sense, activities that you're doing right now that are actually a part of your routine, that have been planned, that have been written down and added to your life, but leave a very annoying aftertaste. Okay, so the first message I have for this eclipse is, let's regain our power back, but maybe not by doing ceremonies trying to attune with the universe and and trying to connect with higher forces, this is always something positive to do. So if you're into ceremonies, and if you're into lighting candles, if you're into whatever you're into when it means when it comes to connecting with spirit, of course you can do that. But the eclipse is asking us to take more concrete steps with this energy in Capricorn. So even if you're just, you found this video but you're not really into mysticism and tarot and other realms that and spirit, you can still take some very practical and good piece of advice from this reading, which is carefully examine everything that you've been doing, all of your daily tasks. This is talking about daily grind vibe, okay? So everything that you've been doing, there are some activities there that might be causing you annoyance, irritation. And when we talk about annoyance and irritation, we are talking about a stop in the flow, a stop in your normal energy flow, because we're here in this life to be joyful. And this could be very hard to believe, but we are here to find our own balance and our own joyful way of undertaking everything we need to deal with, okay? Even the smallest activities. This is very hard in most case scenarios, but it is still possible. And even if you end your life trying to achieve a state of joy, but never actually getting to it, this should be our north, okay? This is how spirit talks to us. Whatever is meant to be comes with a sense of joy, with a sense of alignment. It's the word a lot of people use, okay? So this eclipse is asking you to carefully look at everything that you've been doing and understand, sort out and understand what's there, because it's coming from external influences. This could be simple as you wake up at 8 every day, for example, and you're working home office, let's say. So maybe there's no real need for you to wake up at 8, but you're still waking up at 8 because this is what people do. This is what people are supposed to do. This is healthy. And then it's about starting to question, okay, why is this healthy? How does my body work? Am I a night owl? And maybe if I woke up a little bit later, I would be even more productive. Is it because that's what my family always used to say? Is it because I read in a magazine? I'm trying to apply. There's also this energy of trying to apply ready, preset models that are coming from external sources, because there's a little resistance at this moment in time that's going to be experienced by all of us, as I see here, of analyzing our own lives and taking our own choices and maybe even personalizing everything that we're doing in order to better flow and to be in tune with our own energy, okay? So this is about shifting any belief you might have on what's right or wrong, with special attention to rights and wrongs that have been written on your manual by other people, okay? I also have 2 lunar influences here. Your dreams need a practical plan, full moon in Taurus, and confidence is your key to success, new moon in Leo. So with these 2 cards here, and I'm going to talk about the clarifiers that say more, have more to say about that in a second. But with these 2 moons here, I have, first of all, remember that practical plans are needed, but in order to get to the practical plan that's actually beneficial for you, you first need to analyze everything that you're doing that's no longer of use. And you need to be a master of what's coming from you and what's coming from others. When I say that there are external influences that maybe have been messing up with your life a little bit and creating this feeling of annoyance, I am not saying that these people are necessarily bad or toxic or you know, narcissistic. What I'm saying is that whenever we leave the space open, the energetic space open to all kinds of influences, and we do not have a practical plan, of course the tendency is that we just mimic whatever is going on externally and end up doing activities that are not suited to the path that we actually want to follow. So this eclipse is talking about that. Your dreams need a practical plan, not someone else's dream that may be in your life, or someone else's way of living that may be in your life or maybe influencing your life, but it's not even helping you achieve higher standards, higher success. Okay. And with the clarify, as I said, I was going to talk about, I have the Seven of Cups in reverse. And this is a card that talks about options, okay? Many different things that call your attention. So I feel that most of us must be feeling that our lives are a little bit too overwhelming, in the sense of being cluttered with activities that we no longer understand you know, the purpose of. We don't understand why these activities are doing in our lives. Why am I doing this? It's the why am I doing this feeling. Of course, sometimes are really necessary, and you may feel like this is not my cup of tea, but I really have to do it. But what I'm talking about here is the feeling that some activities are there and they're purposeless. And they're just, you know, any activity you may have in your calendar, in your life, that you feel like, okay, this is here because I don't know how to answer. I don't know why this is here. And this is not paying my bills. This is not feeding me. This is not, you know, this is not one of those basic activities we need to undertake in order to survive. But it's still here, and I don't remember where it came from. So they're asking you to analyze whatever you feel that you're cluttered, whatever you feel that you're blocked, that you're drained, if you really need to be doing things the way that you're doing. And sometimes even if some of your activities need to actually be on your calendar, okay? Because there's a sense of cleaning, and of course this is going to mean different things for the different people watching. For some of you, it could be as simple as, okay, I've already been cleansing my life from external influences, and now I just have to adjust, because I have adjustment as a key word here. But I have to, you know, give the final touches to my routine in order to make it totally appropriate for me. And appropriate to you would be a routine that in 3, 4, 5 years actually gets you closer to your dream, whatever this dream is, okay? And for others of you, it could be like you really didn't know that you had so much going on in your life that had not been devised by you, by your own purpose. It doesn't feel like a choice. And then you're going to start giving your first baby steps in the month of July. And as this eclipse moves through our chart and our lives, you're going to start giving your first baby steps in order to assess what's working and what's not working, what's yours and what's coming from other people. Okay, I also have, as a clarification for this, confidence is your key to success, I also have the Five of Cups. Okay, so if you take a look at this image here, I have, okay, so I have this witch crying, and this is the classical crying over spilt milk scenario, and this is a crying over spilled cups. Okay, so she has these cups here that have spilled, but there's still 2 cups on the table. There's a whole party going on here, and she seems unable to see it. So this is talking about the power we give to past failure. Maybe some of these activities that you grabbed from you've outsourced, in a sense, these models, these ideas coming from other people that are now a part of your life and have led to you having an inflexible routine that no longer serves you. All of these activities are probably there because they are still echoing or triggering past failures. Okay, so this could mean two very different things, not so very different, but anyway. The first thing is that you have accepted advice you shouldn't have accepted, or maybe you're modeling your life after other people that are not exactly, you know, in alignment with your dream, with your purpose, because you're afraid of failing again. Okay, so take note of that. The second possibility is that you are you have failed on certain areas that have actually constructed a structure of reasoning, thinking, that has led you to lose your confidence. Okay, so now everything that you do in life is based on someone else's idea of success. Take note of that too. It's going to be different for the different people watching. But anyway, what they're saying is, if you focus more on adjusting practical aspects of your routine and on understanding why everything is there, and, you know, letting go of everything that is no longer of use, you will little by little leave this attitude here of crying over spilt milk. Okay, this is not an easy process, and remember that the energy of an eclipse is not, this is not going to apply only to the 4th and the 5th of July. This has already been gaining momentum from the beginning of the month, the end of July, and it's going to apply to the rest of next week too. So it's not a simple process to regain confidence through analysis, but this is something that this moon in Capricorn is really asking us to do, to analyze. If you feel a certain resistance about doing that, it's totally normal. This could be a process that you even have to schedule. Like, I am going to analyze at this and this time. I am going to carefully observe and whatever I've been doing in my life that no longer serves me, because it didn't even belong to me in the first place. You know, it's all about seeing, okay, this is mine, and this is coming from other people or other influences. Okay, the other thing I have here is the Seven of Pentacles in reverse. And the Seven of Pentacles in reverse is saying this is not a moment to focus on what you have to do in order to keep your work flowing. So what does it mean? The Seven of Cups is an energy of, I wake up every day, and it's a daily grand energy. I wake up every day, I do whatever I need to do. I know that sometimes I don't even feel like I want to do them, but I've started this project. It's a long-term project. I have to do everything the same way, or at least the same group of tasks every day, otherwise I won't have results. This is normally okay, but at this time, since you have to take this step back and analyze what needs to be in your life and what needs to be let go of, you will need to stop worrying so much about keeping the same routine, even because you need to open some space, some mental space, to consider your daily grind from a completely different perspective. Okay, so don't worry too much if today, tomorrow, this next couple of days, you feel like you're not able to function or to be as productive within the routine you have already established, because you're trying to change this routine, you're trying to adjust. So this, at a company, this would be the moment in which, okay, now we are going between the launch of one product and the other, we are going to sit down and evaluate whatever we have accomplished and what's working, what's not working. It's an evaluation moment. Okay, and I also have here a card which is sharing in reverse from Oshos and Tarot. So this is saying that it's important for us to consider the way we share information during this period, not to become a part of the gossipy group. In general, I see that the planet is changing, and I think we all see that with the corona crisis and the Black Lives Matter movement and lots of different economic shifts happening. So this is saying, please, not only because of your life, but also because of everything we're going through as a human race, try not to add to the gossip. Be careful about how you're going to talk to other people, how you're going to, develop your ideas and even develop your communicative style during this time. You know that Mercury is retrograde up to the 12th. So this is a difficult moment, okay, for all of us when it comes to communication. A lot of people experiencing technological problems, a lot of people finding it hard to express ideas. So try to communicate only when communicate your thoughts and ideas only when you know that this is extremely necessary, that is a requisite of your everyday life. The minimum amount of communication you need to do in order to keep things going, because you won't be focusing on keeping the pace. This is an idea of, okay, I'm taking a step back and reevaluating my own routine. So try not to add to the confusion, to the conflictive thoughts in the world. Even if you're defending a certain cause, if you are an activist online or something like that, try to think through the kind of cause that you're going to talk about right now and how you're going to talk about this cause right now. I'm not telling you that you should be, if you're extroverts, I'm not telling you that you should, just silence and find a space. This is not even talking about finding refuge and alienating from the world. No, this is not the energy. The energy is just be careful with what you share. If you've been sharing, for example, information, texts, posts online on Facebook, Instagram, whatever, and you don't know the source or you don't know the whole story behind those posts, pay attention. Maybe don't share. Maybe wait before you can read about the topic of interest before you share. Maybe wait until you can assess the source before you share. And whenever you're coining your own texts, your own discourse, be careful not only about the truth of what you're saying, but also about the impact it has on your life, okay? Because I have this energy here that I have already talked about. When it comes to communication, you should also think about if everything that you're communicating to the world is part of your mission, what you believe in, or if there are some beliefs there that you have just grabbed from other people and you don't even know why. Okay, so assess this both in terms of your practical day-to-day routine and in terms of how you speak, in terms of discourse, in terms of the ideas that you're putting out there in the world. And to wrap up this general reading, as a clarifier for sharing, I have the Queen of Swords upright. Okay, so this is all about being a master of your own thoughts, being a fair person, but also a person that recognizes the kind of thoughts, the kind of planning, the kind of inspiration required in order to put your dreams out there, okay? In order not to deviate from your way, okay? In general, this is a very positive energy. It might be hard for some people depending on your personality and on your standpoint in life right now, but it's an energy that's talking about refining ideals, understanding where our words and actions are coming from, more our actions than our words. So, but also paying attention to communication, decluttering, cleansing, taking out of our lives anything that You know, it's an energy you don't even need to consider or to go too deep into why are these things there. If you see something that you can't explain why, you know, what these things are doing in your life, you might as well cut it, okay? Because it's also an energy of movement. You have a lot of things to do. And it's not about impeding these movements. It's about removing blocks that are even delaying your access to certain manifestations, okay? So the first option is represented by this beautiful amethyst, okay? I don't know if you can hear this noise, but this is my washing machine, so sorry about that. This is an amethyst, and this is representing option number 1. Option number 2 is represented by this clear quartz crystal, okay? And option number 3 is represented by this crystal pointer that I like very much to use whenever readings talk about direction in life. If you've chosen option number 1, welcome to your reading. This is your crystal of choice. The amethyst is such a beautiful amethyst. It always helps me a lot when I'm trying to concentrate on receiving messages, opening my third eye chakra, etc. And the first message I have for you for this transition, this lunar eclipse transition, is don't effing force it, okay? I don't know if you know this oracle, but it's the Rebel deck. I like it very much. So the first message, cutthroat message, is don't effing force it. Allow that shiz to come to you, okay? So I see that for you, this eclipse is going to be about allowing. I don't know if you have watched the first part of the video talking about the general panorama, but just, you know, recapping a little bit. I'm seeing you here as someone who has external influences in your life and maybe are doing things that are not meant to be in your life. You don't know why they're there because you're trying to force some things. You're trying to force some kind of change. So maybe you have heard or watched, observed, been accompanied some people, groups, the development of some situations, and you've decided that they are good models because you want to be just like them, or you want to achieve the point in life where they are right now, or you want to encapsulate in your life everything that you think they encapsulate, okay? This is about fake role models. And when I say don't effing force it, they're saying maybe your way to get there is a little different from the way these people are applying. Maybe the way they understand planning and the way they're putting themselves in the world is not suited for you specifically. And of course there's the scenario in which these people are just showing off on the internet, on Instagram, here on YouTube, whatever, but you can't really know what they're going through once the cameras are off, okay? So but this is an energy of you're trying to force something, and because of that you have taken on models, role models that are no longer serving you. It could also apply to groups of people, ideological standpoints, and even systems of belief, okay? Maybe you think that if you adopt a certain theory on life, then you're going to reach your success even faster, and you have to clearly take this opportunity to analyze if this is true. What's going to indicate, and I have another card, it's a little creepy because it's the same message, but the cards are only confirming. I have the 10 of Cups in reverse. So this is a situation in which you already have a lot of things in your routine. You already have a lot of things in your life that could bring you more pleasure than they are actually bringing right now. That could bring you fulfillment in a way that is completely different from what you're experiencing right now. And from time to time I see that you hear that. It's like, oh my god, why am I so annoyed? Why am I having why am I feeling like this way, you know, annoyed and maybe a little bit accommodated? Why do I feel like that? If I look around and I see no specific explanation, I see that I could have it all, but my internal feeling is not matching what I thought I would feel if I were in the situation I am right now. Okay, so this is talking about understanding, first of all, that any external configuration of your world is not going to bring you fulfillment, because sometimes we imagine that we are going to achieve a certain point in life and then this is going to bring us happiness, but happiness is a daily practice. This is one thing. The other thing is you have influences in your life. You probably have influences in your life coming from external sources that are impeding you from progressing and even from assessing how beautiful your life could be right now, how much energy you already have around you, and how many blessings you have in your life. So this could be talking about people who, you know, complain a lot and then mess with your energy flow. This could be about people who judge you and who assess your life for you, but they have been doing this for such a long time that now it's hard for you to, you know, just forget about their influence. You really need to carefully understand where you're forcing, in what areas of your life you're forcing a certain result, okay? And understand that this result is going to come as you allow it to come. But I actually see that there are some people, you know, influences that make it harder for you to understand how positive your life could be right now with the things that you already have, okay? And then we have a time to give rather than to take. Okay, this card was in reverse, so it's amazing how it fits the reading. I really don't see these cards before I start interpreting them here for you. It's not a time to give. The energy of the new moon in Virgo is in reverse, okay? It's not a time to give. It's a time not to take, but it's a time to allow things to come to you. Don't force it. Allow them to come to you. And then together with the general reading, it's important that you assess what is in your life that is actually preventing you from experimenting joy, from experiencing joy. What are those things in your life that you feel as a barrier between the way you want to feel first and foremost, and the way you're feeling right now, okay? This could be people, situations, work, activities, many different things, okay? This is a time to focus on receiving, not on trying to, create this whole plan about how you're going to achieve your goals. This is a time in which you need to, and with this card here, I have the joyful spirit. This is a time in which you need to really understand that there are some things you're doing right now that feel boring, annoying, as I was saying in the general reading, and they shouldn't be there, okay? They're not actually necessary. They're not basic, they're not taking care of basic needs in your life. It's just that you're trying to force, you're trying to get to your results a little bit faster than you should. You're not respecting divine timing and you're a little anxious. So the backlash, or the result of that, is that you ended up adopting a lot of tasks that were not even meant to be yours, simply because you think they would get you closer to your result, or that they could be, for some of you, I see a quick path, a shortcut to your expected result, okay? So the other card I have here is Archangel Michael in reverse, and it's saying, Trusting heaven, you're safe, angels stand close. Surrender your concerns and allow a miracle to occur. So again, this is in reverse. You need to try to see this eclipse as an opportunity to bring joy back into your life, but taking very practical, very specific practical very practical steps in order to allow joy into your life. Because Archangel Michael here is saying that you're really mistrusting the influence of the universe in your life. You really don't believe that whatever you've been working for is coming to you, but to a point in which you're doing much more than you needed to be doing. And maybe be careful if you're listening to gurus, fast money gurus, and those people talking about how your life should be, and the energy in which you enter the internet, for example, and let's say you have a small company and you start reading all of these texts, all of these blogs, a Medium, whatever, and you start comparing your results to other people's results and getting all of this info about what you should be doing that you're not yet doing. Okay, be careful with this kind of energy. What you're doing is enough. You will not be able to force results that are not meant for you right now, simply because you're adding activities to your life that were recommended by other people, that make you feel annoyed, that throw you off balance. Okay, and the last card I have here is the mystery card. The mystery card says, let me show it to you, and it's in reverse too. The mystery card says, the mystery is what's between the cubes here. There are a lot of cubes here, you see. So this card is talking about, and it's in reverse, so it's talking about how materialistic you have become, in the sense of forcing, in the sense of pushing too hard to your results. Okay, and when I say materialistic, please understand me, I'm not judging, and I'm not saying that you are a materialistic person all the time, but I'm just saying that at this moment there's an energy of extreme materialism, in which it's not about you wanting more money or a car. It could even be, but not necessarily about that. It's just that your success in your own head is being measured by very materialistic accomplishments. Okay, and you need to look back and just consider how much you've advanced, how much you've been through, and whatever you've learned, so that you feel that you can calm down this anxiety a little bit and stop looking for quick ways of solving your problem, following the model of other people. Okay, because you just feel a little needy when it comes to practical results. It's as if these results would make you feel better, and it's almost the opposite. You first need to feel better and to feel happy and to feel aligned with your energy, and then when the results come, you will be able to fully enjoy them. Because consider that if you keep on going, charging ahead the way you're going, you could even accomplish whatever you want to accomplish, but you wouldn't be able to enjoy it. So I know this is a tough message, but this is what I have for you. Option number one, I hope it helped you clarify. And in general, if you haven't watched my intro panoramic take on the eclipse, in general, this is going to happen to us all. What I see that's different for you is that there are some fake role models operating in your life, and you have allowed them into your life because you just want to speed process, in a way that actually in the end you don't have any control over when certain things are going to develop. Okay, and this appears here something good. You shouldn't have control because you can't see the whole scenario, so you couldn't make the better choices even if you really charged ahead with all of your force and try to you know, read about everyone that's doing the same thing, and maybe learn about all the new gadgets, the new technologies, the new ways of strategizing in your business, you wouldn't be able to speed it up, because there's a whole different world dynamics that you're not seeing. Some things are meant to be kept out of your reach in terms of information. Okay, so thank you very much. If you like this video, please do not forget to leave a like, comment, subscribe, because this is always a very important exchange in energy. Okay, now I'm moving to option number 2, the clear quartz. Sorry. Sorry guys. So if you have chosen this clear quartz here, welcome to your reading. Such a beautiful crystal. The first card I have for you here is you're giving away your power. Okay, you are a badass. Act like it. So if you haven't watched the general panorama reading I had on the eclipse, just to recap and contextualize this piece of advice, what I see here is that in your case, you're lacking in confidence more than those people who chose option 1. It's a matter of actually understanding that you have huge internal value, that you need to work on your self-esteem, because you have been giving your power away, and this has led you to reinterpret the past under very cruel lenses. Okay, so it's like you have forgotten everything that you have accomplished, to an extent that you really believe you're not capable of dealing with the challenges life is presenting to you right now. Okay, and I know that getting away from getting out of this energy could be very difficult for most of us. It is very difficult, but this eclipse is asking you to understand why you have given your power away. Okay, so it's a little different from the general message I was saying. Okay, if you don't understand what something's doing in your life, simply shed it, simply let it go. But for you, I see that it would be very important for you to understand why, in order to regain closure about some situations in your past. Okay, it's like you have really forgotten how special you are, and you have concrete reasons to feel special in your life. This group is my group of entrepreneurs. This is my group of courageous people. This is my group of people who are always willing to take a chance and explore difficult things. But the thing is, when you are such an active person, from time to time, it's like all of your past failure amalgamates, groups up in this huge cluster. Okay, and we kind of forget how much we've learned and how much we've actually done. If you do more than most people, then if you have many different occupations, maybe, I don't know, if you're in your 40s, maybe you had many different occupations like I had in my life, or if you're starting your life, you're always doing these volunteer tasks, these volunteer projects, and you had lots of different relationships, and you've studied a lot of different things, and I don't know. But when we do a lot, we fail more because we learn more. And from time to time, if you've accumulated a lot of different lives, so to speak, a lot of different areas in which you've tested your waters, a lot of different occupations, and a lot of different interests even, from time to time we'll feel a bit, we'll have this tendency of looking at our past failure with too harsh of an eye. Because if you are very active, and if you are always producing different things, a lot of people who are not your true friends are going to see you for your accomplishments only. So they say, okay, I don't know why you're complaining about your life, because you have done so many different things. You had many different jobs and you're living a good life, etc. And you've learned so much. And I would like to be like you. But when our energy is low, we tend to focus on the worst part of it all. And these people are not seeing how much work you actually had to put in order to achieve each of your end goals. Okay, so what they see is a CV, what they see is just a list of accomplishments, but you had the experience of going through them all and manifesting them all in the world, and you know that it was a lot of work. So be careful about forgetting that you are capable of dealing with whatever life's throwing at your face right now. You are capable of dealing with that because you're an active person, because you do a lot, because you're a curious person. You're a person who, even likes to do what inspires fear, because you don't like the feeling of being afraid of something. So, and I'm not talking about this in a like a reckless perspective, but if something really frightens you and it's something you like to do, then that's why you decide that you're going to do this thing, because you don't want to be frightened. You really want to face your fears, and this is an amazing characteristic. But of course, if you're very active, if you've done a lot of things in life, a lot of people won't understand how hard it was, and they will see you only for your accomplishments. And when your energy gets low, you may feel like, okay, I'm alone, nobody understands me, and okay, I've accomplished a lot, but I also, I have gotten it wrong a lot of times. Okay, I have a lot of failure. Well, it's like you feel, okay, this is my CV, all of my accomplishments, and this is my list of failure, and it's as big as my accomplishments. But what you need to remember is that these were all learning opportunities. You've learned a lot, and that's what makes you able to deal with whatever you're facing right now. Okay, sorry, but this was the group I highly identify with. And the other cards I have here for you is Supermoon. Emotions are running high in reverse. So this card here, wow, you're full of complexities. My option too. This card here is talking about the fact that you're trying to numb yourself because this energy of failure is too hard to deal with. So be careful about becoming so desensitized to everything that's going on around you that you only see failure and you only see hardship and you only see how difficult it is, because this is not true. You're actually totally capable of dealing with the situation you're living right now. But if you become desensitized, if you become afraid of feeling whatever you're feeling, and if you enter that stage in which this is never going to work, what's the use of crying? What's the use of laughing? What's the use of anything? Then you become your life becomes truly boring, okay? And not only that, you become a person who does not have confidence in yourself anymore. Your self-esteem goes to the doldrums, okay? So, connect back to your emotions. The other card I have here is the Two of Pentacles. Okay, so there's a balancing act going on here. You're trying to maybe do whatever you like in life, but that's not yet paying for your rent, okay? And also have a 9-to-5 job, something like that. Maybe you're balancing two different relationships that are necessary in your life, but this is a hard act to balance. I see that this is your challenge. You're trying to balance at least two aspects of your life, or maybe two jobs, etc., that are very hard to balance. And the other card I have here, which is friendship in reverse, okay? This is the Two of Wands, lots of twos. So maybe you're talking about a double-faced situation, okay? There's work and there's love life, or there's the art I want to make and there's the 9-to-5 job. This is a double-faced situation for most of you, I feel. But Of course, you're feeling tired of having to balance these two opposing aspects of your life, or two different activities, I see, for most of you. And this has become a lackluster. This is something that now you hear, and or you experiment, better saying, and you simply can't understand how to deal with so many emotions. I also see that in this situation, because you're experiencing new ways of dealing with complexity, the complexity of your tasks, etc. You're shutting down your emotions a little bit, because they're new emotions, because they're emotions you're not familiarized with. So it's very hard for you to simply say, okay, now I'm going to experience that, and you'd rather just desensitized to the whole thing. Okay, I see this two different activities, or two different areas of your life you're trying to balance. They feel very incompatible to you. Okay, so there are two possible courses of action. You could decide to leave one of them, or you could decide to mix the two activities in a way that makes you feel fulfilled. Okay, that helps you understand how to resolve this feeling of being split. Okay, but what the cards are saying here is that you really need to feel your emotions when it comes to each of these activities, and this balancing act. Do not be ashamed or feeling overwhelmed at this time. This is an energy of overwhelmed we're leaving with this eclipse. Okay, so this is not happening only to you, but it's happening to different people in different ways. It's not only you, this is what I'm trying to say. But also, I have a card here that's the Cloak of Wisdom, that says you already know the answer you seek. Trust what you know. So I see that for you, my group twos, it's not about coming here and hearing, oh, you should do this, you should do that, this path will lead you to, higher accomplishments, and this is not so good. When you try to, this is less about a decision on which of these two areas or these two jobs it's presenting more opportunities in the future, making your life easier, etc. This is less about that, and more about regaining your own internal balance. Okay, and feeling whatever you need to feel. So if you need to cry, if you need to shout, if you need to, as long as you're doing no harm to other people, then that's totally okay. But it's about feeling again, it's about sensitizing again, and it's about remembering that you're totally able to deal with whatever you're trying to deal with. This is not in your life by accident. This is actually whatever your balancing act is. This is actually in your life to teach you a lesson. Okay, to make you even stronger, to make you even more able to deal with whatever you need to deal with. And I have a card here which is the Body of Queen, that says, I was more than what I am today, and now I feel it. It's amazing how these cards resonates together, even if I haven't seen them before. This card, take a closer look at this image. It talks about a woman, her body is multiplied, several arms, and 2 pairs of legs, etc. And this woman is like that because she's crowned herself, and she now understands the full potential of her body. Okay, so I see that right now you're feeling a little bit powerless. You're actually much more powerful than you think you are, but this is related to your own body cycles. This is related to the way you deal with your own health, with your own state of being in the universe, and even listening to what your body is trying to tell you, like situations like make it fit whatever you're living. But it could be like I know that I should be going to bed right now and I should sleep, but I'm going to insist a little bit more here because I don't feel like I've done enough, and I don't feel like sleeping, you know, it's something I could do. Or maybe not eating. And even more than that, it's about feeling like what you have and your body and your talents and your skills are not enough to deal with this balancing act. So the cards are telling you this is a lie. You just have to reassess ways in which you're giving your power away, and why are certain attitudes, like the attitude of understanding that you're a badass in the end, why is it so hard for you to be a badass right now? And how could you implement changes in your routine, your life, that made you, you know, act the part of the badass that you are? Okay, I see that it's new to you, the way dealing with this kind of balancing act. Maybe you have done a lot of things in your life before, but nothing as grandiose or nothing as different as what you're dealing with right now. And there's a lack in confidence, so you kind of want to keep your emotions away, and you're starting to listen too much to external influences saying that you should do this like that, you should do this like, you know. But this is all based on forgetting that your past is all you need, your past experience is all you need in order to deal with this balancing act here. Okay, so remember who you are. You're a badass, and try to implement changes in your routine that actually honor your body and honor the badass that you are. Okay, I hope this message has helped. Option 2, if you liked it, please do not forget to leave a like, comment, subscribe. You know the drill. It helps the channel very, very much, and you'll be able to receive notifications in order to watch different videos whenever I post them. Okay, so now I'm moving on to option number 3. Option number 3 is represented by this crystal pointer here. It's a beautiful crystal pointer, and it always helps me a lot when I have to, as I said in the introduction, talk about direction in life, this kind of reading. So the first card I have here for you is put the effing phone down. I love this deck. This is the Rebel deck, so straight up cutthroat messages. So put the effing phone down. Too much screen time is making you awkward and sad. Go talk to a live person. So depending on where you are in the world, this may be a tough piece of advice to follow, but what this card is saying in general is that you're spending a lot of time online, you're spending a lot of time on the phone, and for some of you, even that you're spending a lot of time thinking about what other people have to say, to recommend, and the way they understand life, etc. It's too much. For you, for option 3, I see that the cluttering we're talking about in a general overview on the eclipse, this is mental clutter. Okay, there's too much going on in your mind, and most of the things that you have going on in your mind have not have not been born there. You're grabbing this information from the outside and probably from the internet. For some of you, I see that you may be a little bit compulsive about a certain someone, a person of interest, but this is not for all of you. So it's just like 1%, 2% of you. You may have a little bit of a crush, or maybe you're being compulsive about someone from your past, and that's why you're on the phone so much. That's why you're on the internet so much. Anyway, you need to, you know, get some time for yourself and start to think your own thoughts. Start to think your you know, you need to declutter in order to put your mind to work on your favor again, because there's too much noise, too much outside information that's not working for you right now. It's just filling in a certain void that you're trying not to be in touch with. Now let's see what this void is all about. I have your hard work is paying off in reverse. Okay, this is a new moon in Capricorn, and we're talking about an eclipse, which is a full moon in Capricorn. So this is in reverse. So the void I see here for you have to deal with right now is that results are not being shown as expected. Okay, so they're not coming at the speed you'd like them to come. You think that you're working hard and it's not paying off, as the card suggests, and that's why you've been trying to fill in the space left during this period in which you're only waiting for results. You're trying to fill this void with external information. Maybe you're binge watching YouTube videos, maybe you're binge anything, okay, but binge anything media like okay, binge watching on Netflix, reading too much about a certain topic, and you know, binge reading the world's news and maybe getting a little bit too overwhelmed by everything that's going on. It would be important for you to try to escape that, because the other card I have here is the Nine of Wands, and the Nine of Wands is talking about feeling attacked by everybody and feeling overwhelmed by external influences, and even starting to see the world like this, or the universe, better saying, as if it were against you. Okay, so understand that because you have a lot of information, of external sources of information that are being dumped into your brain, you are coming now to a point in which your worldview has changed a lot. Okay, you used to be a more positive person. You used to be able to wait for the results expected here and not be so anxious. So I really see that you need to understand why is it that you feel so overwhelmed right now. It's because your belief system on how the world works has changed to a more pessimistic one, in which you see other people as enemies and you see everyone as trying to backstab you, and you really need to get out of this mental space. Okay, so the other card I have here is transformation. Okay, transformation is death, but this is Osho Zen Tarot in Portuguese. So if you see this image here, I have a person, different arms, okay, with different magical tools, and also kind of a phoenix-like bird here. Okay, and what it's saying to me is that if you learn how to experience divine timing, if you learn how to wait for your results in a different way, in a less anxious way, this world view, this belief system that says everybody's against you, this is going to subside. Okay, because you're actually looking for information online and videos and media in general because you sorry, because you wanted to see more results for your work and they're not coming. But what the cards are actually saying here is that the more anxious you get, the more these results are going to be delayed, because it's similar to option 2, but in a different place. It's like results are being delayed, not because option 2 or 1, I don't remember now, but one of the other options, results are being delayed because if you actually had these results coming to you right now, you wouldn't be able to regain your confidence. Okay, you need to experience this void. It wouldn't work out well for you if you just had these results coming, but you always felt like an imposter. You always felt like everyone is against you, like other people are your enemies, etc. So first you have to, you have to transform this cycle of beliefs. And I've even this deep breath is related to, I feel that some of you are your lungs are not functioning properly. This is not a disease or anything like that, but maybe you're feeling like your heart's beating up here on your on your throat, and that you lack in energy, and your breathing is too it's all based here. Okay, so you feel your breathing here very fast, and you need to make it deeper. This is also talking about your body and how you relate to your body. You need to learn what are your magical tools and how your body works, and how to work in a less anxious space, because otherwise I see a lot of success coming for you. But if you achieve this success in such an anxious state, I don't know if you'll be able to get through the many things that I see coming for you. Because the other card I have here is Melchizedek, higher learning. You have learned from experience. More inner study is now required to further progress. Check it out, people. So this is about learning how to be yourself, and how to wait, and how to see the value in waiting too, because you're progressing internally. Learning that your value cannot be attributed to accomplishments only, like one of the other piles, but for you specifically. What I see is that you need to learn how to deal with your body in a different way. Otherwise, you are going to achieve the success that you want, but you won't feel good about it. It will be very hard to deal with the many blessings coming your way if you stay in this anxious, overworking and over worrying more than anything. If you stay in this over worrying states that you are right now, okay? Imagine you get the job you want, you get the relationship you want, but you're still over worrying. This would taint your success in a way that you would make you feel like a fraud all the time, and would make you, the imposter syndrome. This is what I see for you. If you achieve this success and these results too fast. So it's almost like they're saying you're going to achieve every result that you're thinking about right now, but first you need to get rid of this excess of irritation, this excess of anxiety, and I don't see you I don't see you bored, and that's why you're going online, and that's why you're letting all of this information, that's why they have to tell you to put the effing phone down. No, you're not doing this out of boredom. You're doing this because you need to transform into a calmer version of yourself, a more patient version of yourself, and this is very hard for you. But they're saying, okay, this is a way of protecting you, because if you actually reach the results that you want in such a state, it would be terrible for you. You would see all of your dreams manifesting, but you still not be happy, and this would be a lot of pressure that it would be very hard for you to cope with. So this is a moment in which you need to take care of yourself, and try to do anything that you can in order to feel more relaxed. So meditation, yoga, exercise, okay? But not something that, because maybe you're trying to, maybe you're online all the time and you're binge watching things and overfeeding on outside information, okay? Because you feel like, okay, this is what I do to relax. So they're also talking about the need to find different ways to relax, okay? The ways that are more connected to your body. Pay special attention to your breathing, because I really feel something about my breath here. So I think I'm channeling that. And the final card I have for you is the cactus. I show nothing. I keep everything to myself. Okay, so you see this cactus here, it's the format is really different, okay? Because the cactus represents someone who's been keeping all to him or herself, okay? And because of that, the shape of this person has changed externally. The facade they show to the world has changed externally. They've developed this Capricorns, but they didn't want to let their talents be seen by the world because there's a blazing sun here. So they don't know if their talents, if their projects are going to survive in the world if they show them like they are. It's like I don't show whatever I have to share with the world. I don't show my best version to people around you. I'm even afraid of showing myself in my most positive light. Okay, so what I see here is that results are going to come when you feel comfortable enough with yourself to show the best version of yourself to the outside world, because people are going to be amazed by your charisma, by your talents, by anything that you have to offer. But this is not yet the time. First, you need to work on your own internal strength, and it will be very hard to work on that unless you stop feeding so much on external information and on media in general. So try to stop that little by little. If you're too addicted, it's just like cutting half of it or like a quarter of it every day until you really get rid of your habits on binge watching and over consuming this kind of information, this kind of product. And try to add little by little breathing activities, even if it's only you know, deciding that every day you're going to breathe in and out 4 or 5 times, but go deeper into your lungs capacity. Try to invest in yoga, exercise, dancing, anything that you can do that's going to, you know, put you more in touch with yourself and bring you back patience and bring you back to a sense of your own value and feeling good. I see that option 3 is not feeling their best selves right now, and this is very physical. Okay, so that's why you sometimes want to escape here and you associate that with not getting your results fast enough. But what they're saying is you need to prepare for those results. They are going to come. They are only going to come when you show more of yourself, but you're not ready yet to show more of yourself. You need to take care of yourself, and even to allow this self-care to show in your daily routine. Don't mistake this kind of internet activity with self-care. It's not making you more relaxed. It's not making you feel better. Okay, and remember that everything has its time. This is a lesson on patience, but it's also a lesson on how your body responds to things, and that we are ready when we're ready. You're not ready now, but you will be. So your task now is to become ready, to prepare yourself for the blessings that are going to come. You can't skip certain parts of the process. There's no shortcuts to that. Okay, so I hope this message has helped, and I hope this full moon eclipse in Capricorn finds you all you know, safe. Our world is experiencing so much right now. Safe and inspired, if possible, or at least calm, that everything happens in divine timing. If you like this video, please do not forget to comment, like, subscribe. You know the drill. This is very important for me. It helps the channel a lot. And also, once again, thank you for the feedback that I've been receiving. That really, you know, makes me feel like what I'm doing here is useful somehow, and that's all that I ever wanted. Okay, thank you very much, and have a good eclipse.